Yes. How's it going, Sha?
Everything is fine. Okay, I know I didn't sell that, but it is everything seems to be fine.
There's always a moment when I ask you, Sha, where like I swear, like you like when I ask you if you're doing okay, there's like a part of me that thinks I think Sha wants me to ask someone else and let her
No,
know. Like
no,
I'm
I'm
supposed to
doing
be checking in with your secretary about this.
nope. I'm doing everything's great. Everything's wonderful. Everything's fantastic. My problem is I can't sell it.
Okay.
I have a hard time selling um emotions that are not like that's really the only thing that I can sell with no problem is like being slightly perturbed, like just being a little all the time is really where I shine. But then when you're like, are you happy? And I'm like, yeah, I'm happy. It's not believable.
It's good to know your strengths and weaknesses, you know?
Yeah. I guess it's good for like casting and whatnot, so people know where to. If they want me in a show, they got to know that. Well, we need a grump. Where can we find a grump on short notice?
I know the best.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. One of the best grumps in the business.
You know what hit me recently, Sha?
Hmm.
I was outside, I was at my dad's crib and I started out the trash for him. It was like 9:30, 10 o'clock. And a stray dog like walked into my yard.
Okay.
And I realized that I don't think I've seen a stray dog in like 10 years.
Oh, sure.
Like I remember growing up, like I felt like that was like part of like like what my parents would tell me when I went to the store. Hey,
Mhm.
yo, be careful, don't talk to strangers, and if you see a stray dog, walk carefully. Like it was that important that like pit bulls was just out.
Right.
And like this was the first like stray dog I seen. I feel like maybe even in adulthood, like in
Mm.
Brooklyn. Like it's been a
Okay.
minute since I've seen like a dog just like not have owners. Like I half like looked around, like is this like a lost dog? You know,
Right.
I wasn't used to it. Yeah, like I think it's like really indicative of how lonely we are in New York.
Hmm.
That like every dog has been claimed and made a mate like a housemate. Like I need companionship. I
Okay.
moved here from somewhere else, in the middle of America to live my
Hmm.
dream. Now I'm stuck in this box of an apartment with no windows, and I
Right.
need something else indicative of life. I don't
Okay.
know how to keep a plant alive because I have no proof of life
Right.
with a plant until it's dying and brown. But I could see, you breathe, you move.
Hmm.
I want you in the house. I would get a cat, but cats can hide in your apartment for like 3-4 weeks at a time. I don't even know if it's alive either, you know? But dogs, they
Okay.
with you.
Okay.
I'm not anti-cat. I'm just saying, like, like
Yeah,
they could
no,
be
cats
alive.
have their own they have
Yeah,
their own cat business. Yes.
yeah. Like I only know, like every person that has cats, like I know they have cats because they eat food and shit somewhere. But like I don't
Hmm.
see them,
Gotcha.
you know.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But the
Okay.
dog, if you got a dog, you see the dog. When you visit, whatever, they make themselves visible in some way. Whether they welcome you or like tell you don't come in, their presence is felt pretty quickly.
Right. Well, okay, it's funny you would bring this up. I saw on Twitter one of my favorite people, Rod Morrow, who is the co-host of the fantastic podcast, The Black Guy Who Tips.
Oh, rock on.
Yeah, that he does with his wife, Karen. And so he is they are based in North Carolina, but he is in New York working on some things. And
Okay.
he tweeted out something about that the dogs in New York seem to be strictly for companionship and they don't seem to be for protection like dogs are in the South. And that the dogs in the South they're there to protect whoever feeds them, basically. So yeah, they're going to be with you and all that stuff, but like this going into stores, or you know what I mean, like that kind of thing, going into the bar with you, or that's not really a thing. That dog is there to stand upright in your yard when someone drives by too slowly, or you know what I mean. And that's not what New York dogs seem to be built for. Now there was some conversation as to like, where in New York are you, because there are dogs who are like that
Yeah.
in the outer boroughs and whatnot, but there's definitely, I think there's a point. He has a point, because I'm
No, for
thinking
sure.
of my dog Gertie, the dog that I had when I was in Atlanta, who was a American Bulldog pit mix, lovely gal.
Okay.
Really loved this dog, and she's very sweet. And the reason I had her, she didn't really get along. She got very stressed out when cohabitating with other dogs. She wanted to make sure that you paid attention to her, so she felt like she needed to move all the other dogs away. And it was a lot of stress if there's another dog, her trying to get next to you. So she was like, oh, okay, so it's a one dog household. Great. And you forget she was very sweet, and would lay on the couch with me, watch Law and Order. We were great, fantastic. Dig a hole, worked on a hole in the backyard for a couple of years, and then just laid in it. Like that was the project, was just to dig a hole big enough for her to lay in. And uh, but if anything felt off to her, like there have been many times that I would because where I was living when I got her, I was in like a duplex, and along the side of the building, um, or right behind the building, there a path through the woods would empty out right there, and so people often walked alongside my apartment, my unit,
Mm.
to get to the path to go back there and do whatever nefarious things they were going to do, and which means that sometimes in order to do those nefarious things, you might need goods to sell in order to get money in order to do the nefarious things. And so I don't know if I'm sure that where I was living probably had a history of people like trying to break in and steal shit. But I would go to sleep uneasily, might I add. It was never that deep a sleep in that place, but I would wake up to the dog standing at full attention on my bed, growling out a window.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know what was going on out there or anything, but she sensed it, and she was just like, okay, try me. And the pit muscles came out, all of it, and she was just, so many times there have been times where I'd be walking her, and people would walk by and they'd start to talk to me, and she was a sweet dog, but if she didn't like the vibe or she sensed something, she was just like, nope, and would just stand at attention, hair up on her back, and growl. And I was like, okay, there's a danger I'm not picking up on that she is, and she is protecting me from that danger. And I don't get a sense that the dogs that I've seen here would do that. I feel like they would also just keep it moving. Like, hey man, keep up with me. I'm not going to stop. Keep up with me. Let's keep it moving. Let's go. Keep your head down. You know not to make eye contact. That kind of thing. But they also are kind of coddled a little bit. I don't know.
The instincts are gone.
Yeah.
You're in a different environment. You don't got to worry about that shit in an apartment.
And so so there was a lot of discussion about if it's a northern dog versus southern dog thing, or just like a country versus city thing, which means it can be across the country, but just like
ain't no danger when you're in a purse.
Yeah, that's true. Also, the idea of buying a dog tickles me a little, because I'm like, I thought dogs just kind of happen, but I'm like, oh, I'm not in a space where, like, I certainly have not seen a stray dog. In the 8 or so years that I've been here in New York, and where I was in Atlanta, there'd be packs of them,
right,
like coming home from like the club or something. Like Like I'm out early in the morning walking
Getting
Gertie,
a
and then
workout
there's
in.
like, yeah, and then four of them are just kind of walking around, and they didn't really mess with you, but they're just like, nah, this is our neighborhood. We're just on the way home.
That's it. They did the night shift at UPS.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. These third shift dogs are coming home at 8 in the morning, but like packs of them.
Hell yeah. We
And
had that here, but it's gone. Like and it was a quick shift. Like it was night. I almost like it had. I don't see the correlation, but it happened around the same time as like Giuliani cleaned up Times Square, and I don't know how that works out, but I feel like it felt the same time. Like we
right.
had random dogs all over the place, and Times Square was crazy. And then it was like, all right, cut the strippers, bring these pit bulls inside. You know.
That
And
I mean, there's probably something to that. I mean, you can't have a Disneyfied like Times Square and then still have like Rottweilers and fucking Doberman pinchers just everywhere.
I remember my cousin would be like, yo, like, you don't got to worry about those dogs because those are the dogs that like people didn't keep because they lost a fight. And I'm like, yeah, but like it's still fought. Like I don't fight no dogs.
Right.
So like even if that dog lost the fight, it fought a dog. That's a scary dog to 5-year-old me. You know, I don't want to. I don't know who Tyson knocked out, but I don't want to fight that dude just on principle. You know, like he's built for that. So I always was scared of these random dogs all over the place. They've cleaned up their rep now. You know, they're allowed places. They inside.
Oh, now that I think, I mean, that's ultimately what I did with Gertie. She was just a dog that showed up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And the neighborhood that I lived in had a lot of people who were like, hey, you know, I breed dogs. And I'm like, no, you don't. You make dogs fuck and then you sell the puppies. You're not breeding. I don't think is what like I don't trust your paperwork. So there was a lot of that. And I think she had just had puppies when she, you know, so she still had a mom body when she was just like roaming the streets. And she still seemed clean, but it was just like, this has to be someone's dog. She couldn't be that far. We put signs up. No one ever claimed her. And I was like, I wonder if she just lost a fight or if they just wanted her for the fight. Like they breeded her or she mated with someone who had a dog that had more of a killer instinct.
Right.
And they just took those puppies away and they were like, we have no use for her.
Yeah, it's sad, but that's how you got puppies before. Like you got a dog. It's like, okay, I just got this dog now, you know?
Yeah, exactly. If they just keep coming back.
They kept coming, yeah. You kept feeding them and that was your dog. That was it.
Yeah.
Like we didn't have dogs, but like the block had a dog. It was like that. Like, oh, this was like the block dog. You know, it just chilled in the block. We knew he would go into the corner store. He would go into the big yard every now and then and chill. And you like knew him. And he would give you a little head nod in the morning. Like you was chill. You know? He was peace.
He was reading the paper. Playing the crossword.
No beef whatsoever, you know? It's a good place to be. Yo, real talk. God. There's a beer garden in Queens that like warms my heart that they had a business. Because I wasn't allowed in because of my outfit, but somebody had a dog inside. And that was my whole argument. I saw someone get inside, admittedly, nice outfit, but with a dog, while I was being told I can't get in because of my outfit.
What was your outfit?
Who cares? A dog inside, shot. A dog got inside. I wasn't even acknowledging my clothes at that point. I got in line and there was a dude behind me with the dog. So I wasn't even thinking my outfit mattered. I'm like, yo, my man getting in with a dog, that's gotta like outdo my Timbs and a hat. Okay? I don't know what it is, but this is a not person coming in.
Yep.
Okay? If they can get in naked, I can get in with this. Okay? So yeah, I had issues with that shit. And like it ruined the whole like get together because it wasn't like I was coming solo. It was like 8 of us.
Right.
You know, like it was a squad. So like I ruined the whole vibe because like everyone else was in, but like you know, so we had to change plans because of situation. And like, I'm like, yo, like, you know how wild this is, B? Like, you telling me dress code for me. This dude, like, you mad at my two, there's 4 paws on the floor.
Right. Yeah.
You know, you mad at my 2 Tims. He got 4 bare paws walking all over your joint. Infuriated. But they ain't survived this quarantine. You know who did though? Me and my Tims. Okay. Take my beer drinking elsewhere, okay?
Oh my God.
Shouts to Rod, by the way. That's the homie. Good people over there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's get into the news. Russia may have found the buyer for its cheap oil. India, that's right. India may take up Russia's offer to buy crude oil and other commodities at a discount, 2 Indian officials said in a sign that Delhi wants to keep its key trading partner on board despite Western attempts to isolate Moscow through sanctions. U.S. officials have said in recent weeks they would like India to distance itself from Russia as much as possible while recognizing its heavy reliance on Moscow for everything from arms and ammunition to missiles and fighter jets. India has not condemned the invasion of Ukraine and abstains from voting at the United Nations calling out Russia's aggression. Russia's calls its actions in Ukraine a quote-unquote special operation to demilitarize and denazify the country. One person within India's security apparatus said the West understood India's position given that it needs to keep its armed forces well supplied amid simmering territorial disputes with China. India, which imports 80% of its oil needs, usually buys only about 2 to 3% from Russia. But with oil prices up 40% so far this year, the government is looking at increasing this if it can help in reducing its rising energy bill.
Huh. I mean, oh boy. Look, I know nothing about nothing. But okay, so this looks like India's like, hey man, don't ask me. I don't know what's going on.
Right.
I'm gonna let them work that out. But in the meantime, let me borrow a cup of oil. Let me go on and get some oil off of you.
That's it.
Okay.
A little oil.
Just a little oil. We got it's real pricey out here. If we can just go ahead and all right, so then now what? So now are we supposed to be mad at India as well?
I guess. That's a lot of people already, yo.
I mean, look, yeah, like I don't. Are we mad just because we know that that's what they're doing? Like if they could have kept that on the DL, would we be mad at them? I feel like they should have tried a little harder to keep that on the DL, but I'm guessing Russia is probably the ones like, oh yeah, well India wants oil, and India's like, hey.
But yo,
I'm minding my business.
You could have emailed me that. We got a Slack channel, okay?
I thought we were. No, that was an A and B conversation.
Seriously, B. That's what DMs are for.
Yeah, come on. Huh. All right. Yeah, I wonder if we were even supposed to know that.
Yeah, I would love if Pew had a Slack channel for these countries. Yo, real talk. It's communicating his oil hookups. I'm not mad at this, yo. I get it. It sucks in terms of the fact that it continues to buy Russia time during this like weird situation.
Right.
But I can't fight a hookup. Like that's just such a core aspect of my life. Like it's survival. I appreciate India just like, yo, it's a good deal.
It's hard. I mean, I think the main it's just standards v hookups. Like,
yo,
that's really what we're struggling with every day. Do I want to set a standard and live up to it? And if it's not that, like, just wait until it is. How high are my standards? Do I need to make them higher? Like, what's my integrity level? Or my man's just offering this for like buy 2 get 1 free. Like, I mean, come on, barrels of oil, 2 for 1.
Yo,
let me think about
it. Got that oil, India.
I don't know.
Flip that shit on eBay. Get on StockX.
Look, I'm not a hustler, so I can't give you any advice as to what to do, India, but maybe talk to Russia via WhatsApp so that those discussions are encrypted. Maybe do
Jay-Z
that.
would have took all his oil and made a rap song about it already, okay? All right, he's
Who's
the
to say
American
he
dream.
hasn't?
Exactly.
I'm not 100% sure it's not going to take a couple of barrels of crude oil to keep things moving at the Basie household.
This is Marv. You know what I mean? Think Marv is made without crude oil, okay? Marv suits require crude oil to manufacture, okay?
Oh boy.
That man live. Starbucks is planning to phase out its iconic cups. That's right. Starbucks has a love-hate relationship with its cups. The company's white or sometimes holiday-themed logo, emblazoned paper cups for hot drinks, and clear plastic cups for cold drinks are instantly recognizable symbols of the brand. But that's not entirely a good thing. Our cups are ubiquitous, and we love that, but it is also this ubiquitous symbol of a throwaway society, said Michael Kabori, Starbucks chief sustainability officer. That's because the cups are disposable. When they're thrown away, the cups end up in landfills or as litter in the streets and waterways. Some might be recycled, but recycling is an imperfect option. The best solution, eliminating the disposable cups, said Kabori. He called the option the Holy Grail. By 2025, the company wants every customer to be able to either use their own mug easily or borrow a ceramic or reusable to-go mug from their local Starbucks. That could mean rolling out more borrow a mug programs that require a deposit. Starbucks is planning by the end of next year to let customers use their own personal mugs at every Starbucks in United States and Canada, even if they order ahead or use the drive-thru.
So these cups snitching on you, huh, Starbucks? And cups are too loud for you? When you see them in the landfill? And all you see is that logo? That logo that you worked hard on branding and making sure was on every fucking thing. Now suddenly you're like, huh, they've been disposable this whole time. With or without your logo. What's wrong? Someone took a picture, put a nice filter on it, and now you're like, shit. Like, yeah. Okay, them cups too loud for you. Got it. So now we got to bring our cups in to drink your shitty coffee. No, thank you. If I got to wash a mug, I'm a do it because I had a cup of coffee that was good.
Amen.
I say that I don't even like coffee, but I do understand that Starbucks, I like hot chocolate, and their hot chocolate always tastes like it's burnt. So I don't even know what they're doing to the coffee.
I don't need to find out how many people think they're the number one dad in my neighborhood, okay?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You want that smoke, Starbucks?
Those are going to be fights, okay?
It's a fight either way. So I guess this branding is just not a good look. Okay. All right, Starbucks. You going to put the boobies back on the lady that was on the cup? You know, when Starbucks initially started, there were bare breasts on that woman on it. Now they only show her from like the shoulders up.
That's it, B. She conservative.
First they made
her
hair too long to cover up the boobies. Now they only show like a selfie.
Now you're throwing her away.
Now you just like, hey, take her off the cup. She talking too much.
Real talk. It's real Hollywood of you, Starbucks, dismissing women when she's getting older, okay? Okay? You don't got any roles for women over 40 anymore, Starbucks? Okay?
Wow. We start speaking our minds by being in the landfill and letting people know what you about, and suddenly we got to go?
I see
now,
you,
Now
Starbucks.
the lady got to go. Okay, Starbucks. Okay, I see you.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
That's trash.
You deserve better, okay? This is the Me Too movement all over again, right here. Okay?
Oh, man.
In other news, men's suits removed from UK's inflation basket as COVID changes working life. That's right. The traditional men's suit has been removed from the basket of goods used to calculate the annual inflation rate, the latest casualty of the increase in working from home since the start of COVID pandemic 2 years ago. The Office for National Statistics said the change in working patterns meant the suit, ever present in the basket since its inception in 1947, was no longer one of the more than 700 representative goods and services selected to UK's cost of living. Announcing the details of this year's changes, the ONS said a new men's formal jacket or blazer item was being introduced to ensure men's formal and business wear was still represented in the selection. Other items that will no longer be tracked include donuts, which are being replaced by multi-packs of cakes and coal. Y'all was still tracking coal? Wow. Your list is trash. You was tracking coal in 2021?
Oh, wow.
Wow. Which has been removed in anticipation of the government ban on domestic sales of the fuel from next year. Jesus, y'all are late to the party. Yo, y'all was tracking coal last year to see consumer goods spending and inflation.
I mean, there are maybe still some people who are, I don't know, burning coal in their house.
Yo, I know y'all ain't even barbecue heavy out there like that.
Well, I mean, no one's barbecuing on coal. Let's just.
I was trying to think of anything close.
I mean, they're probably warming their house. I mean, like, look, there are a lot of. We think about the cities, but think about the countryside.
Okay.
And there are still, and especially in England, that country's old as fuck. So they're still living in goddamn stone buildings and shit. Again, I don't know this to be true because I've never been. But just judging by your photographs, some of you are still living in stone ass buildings. And so I'm sure like there's no central heat. You know what I mean? Like the space heater can only go so far, and you probably got to use coal.
Coal. Yo, that's wild. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yo, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm glad people. Wild. Yeah, like I get the suits thing. The coal thing is fucking my head up. That is crazy. But yeah, I get the suits thing. I mean, we just it's been 2 years since you've had to wear a suit. They should only be tracking like shirt and ties because people still fake it. Like they wear the top part for the Zoom meeting.
Yeah,
but the whole suit is gone. It's a new era, baby. You know, we working from home. You know, let me figure out how to do the Zoom background on my shirt, and it's over. I won't even wear shirts no more in meetings. You know, I'll be out here chestless, but like it'll show a suit. You know, and we'll be good.
All right. Other things that have been added to this basket. Antibacterial surface wipes.
Okay.
Sports bras.
Okay.
And crop tops. Why crop tops? You don't have to. That's just the tops you've been adding, but we cut them off. And collars for dogs and cats.
Telling you.
The ONS said demand for antibacterial products was still high, and people had responded to the pandemic by exercising more and owning more pets. Canned beans, chickpeas, and lentils entered the baskets for the first time. Last year, hand sanitizer, smartwatches, and hand weights had been added. Interesting.
And they added meat-free sausages.
Right.
Holla. Vegan out there in the UK.
Yeah.
I can't. Yo, you eating vegan, meat-free sausages?
That you cooked on coal?
Cooked on coal, my G? Come on, man. Y'all could do better out there, man.
What? That's the best. Come on. That's the distant past and the current future. I don't know. Come on. You gotta admit there's something.
Okay.
There's something to heating up your soy sage. Again, that's soy sage, which is a product, over coal. I don't know. It's kind of funny to me.
For the amount, like, if you tracking coal as a country, like, I'm surprised how shitty your pizza is. Like, I would assume you would be killing it with the ovens.
No, I don't think. I think I feel like coal is hard to cook on.
Yeah?
I think. I feel like coal's good for, like, a high heat that like to warm a house or whatever, but it may be too high for even those pizzas where the ovens are set to like 600 degrees or 800 degrees, and you flash cook a pizza.
Okay, that makes sense.
In there
I always thought they used like a mixture. It was like you put like charcoal for like the control, but the coal for like the like big heat. Like I thought
I
you used
don't
both.
I don't know. I don't know exactly what you're doing. I mean, I assume coal was just for like the bigger things, and then maybe you could use a little bit for like an oven to keep, to keep warm and also cook a little
Yeah.
something on. But it wasn't like you weren't going to get the options that you would if it was like you're not getting multiple eyes. You know what I mean? Like whatever you're cooking on a stovetop is you're boiling water for something. I guess gruel, and then that's it. And then
That's it.
beans, I guess, and sausage, I guess.
No
Now,
medium burgers, okay?
no,
I want
yeah. It's hard to really get a nice pink inside in your burger
with the
on
coal.
coal. Yeah, so that's probably a good reason to discontinue it.
Finally, the mask on a plane's requirement is being dropped by some UK airlines.
Oh
Um,
no.
Face coverings have become a staple of air travel over the past couple of years. For some passengers, they've obviously provided some divisive issues as the mask non-compliance was the top reason for flight disruptions in the U.S. So far in 2022. But they are getting ready to vanish. British Airways and Virginia Atlantic are set to make mask wearing optional for passengers and crew on certain flights starting March 16th. The UK-based airlines announced the change in a statement issued by London Heathrow Airport, which is also removing its mask requirement this week. Uh, Heathrow, Heathrow BA and Virginia Atlantic say they're following the government guidance for England and Northern Ireland, where the legal requirements to wear a face covering on public transportation and indoor spaces has been removed. Masks remain compulsory on public transportation in Scotland and Wales. All four nations in the UK have also agreed to eradicate the remaining international travel restrictions, allowing all travelers, regardless of vaccination status, to enter the UK without testing from March 18th onwards. Yeah,
Look, I
buddy.
get it. We all tired. I get it. Everybody take your mask off. I'm not going to do it because there's still germs. COVID or
Word up.
not, a little surprised we weren't already doing this. Like they now on the planes, they give you at least Delta will give you like a little wipe, a hand sanitizer wipe kind of thing to either wipe your hands or wipe down everything around. Love it. Let's keep that. Let's keep a little bit of that energy.
Amen.
And if you're not going to make people wear a mask, so be it. But I will wear a mask, and that's just for my comfort level.
Yeah.
Also, it keeps me warm. It's always cold on a plane.
I am openly saying I will have a mask on me,
Mm-hmm.
but I will only wear a mask as a judgment of the people around me. So
wow.
Yeah, if I'm wearing a mask, some by you or somewhere around you gives me COVID energy. Like you ain't safe. And I'm gonna cover up.
I just don't trust people in general, so I think I'll just have a mask on all the time. All the time.
It's a smart
I
move.
don't trust anybody. Yeah, like what's it gonna hurt? Like maybe it'll be depending on how COVID feels like moving, maybe I'll go back to a cloth mask or the little surgical one, something that's not quite so like wild and strapped to me and I can't get it off my face, nothing maybe that hardcore. But can still keep out some of your little droplets. And I but I'm gonna have one on. Like I don't feel like I haven't shaved my chin and I don't know how long. Like I've given up.
Hey, I got this one hair that always grows longer than the rest of my mustache, and I don't want to deal with that no more. I don't got to look at it.
It's so much easier to just put a mask on and go, I'll deal with you hairs at home.
That's it. It's been 2 years I haven't had to be there with a little scissor. Don't matter.
Exactly.
It's been a beautiful run.
I think it's something in the humidity of the mask now that I got a mustache grow, all kinds of stuff. I was like, this didn't happen before, but I didn't have the kind of tropical weather necessary to grow the kind of foliage that's growing on my face. So I guess now. But it's not going to stop me. It's not going to stop me. I'm still going to wear a mask. I'll trim it down, I guess.
Oh, man. If you would like to support me and Shalewa's hydroponic facial gardens, okay? All you got to do is like and subscribe to the show, baby. If you are Apple or Spotify listener, we appreciate your ratings. 4 stars. You don't believe we could grow more than hair on our faces. 5 stars, you're going to see greens. By the end of the year, I'm going to have blueberries on my left.
Absolutely.
Pickles and other spices on my right. Some seasoning.
Whole apple grove. You're going to come to my chin in the fall.
Crazy,
to go apple picking with your loved ones.
I have my kids taking pictures next to Shalewa's face. It's going to be crazy.
Right.
That's how we going to fund this podcast, okay?
Mm-hmm.
She's going to be charging people $40 a bag.
My chin apples.
You got any articles you want us to cover, please DM us directly on Twitter and Instagram at Silky Jumbo at Gastor Almonte. With all that said, my name is Gastor Almonte, always with the homie Shalewa Sharpe. This has been a gardening edition of the War Report. Catch y'all next time. Peace.